Greetings, Windmills. I'm Andy, and I'm George, and welcome back to the Windmill full of corpses. Much hype. So we checked out Imminence once before with Tempting Temptation. And now we're checking out Ghostly Ghost, Imminent Ghost. Imminent, Tempting, Ghostly Ghost. Okay, so this band is kind of like Architects but with a violin. And Architects is like Architects with many violins that nobody plays on stage. So it actually sounds a lot like Architects, only the violin is singled out. And they're a bit more brutal, I think. From what we've heard in that one song, and we haven't listened to anything else since. And I think this is a new one. Yeah, and it was a suggestion from... Hold up a second. Yeah. I can't find it. It'll be on screen if we find it, yes. But so, this is... Yeah. Are you ready? No. There it is! Okay. It's confusing me a bit more than the other one because I'm also trying to follow the video and I don't know what to make of the narrative just yet. But I'm, having heard that a couple of times, I definitely feel the Architects vibe a lot stronger. They have that sort of deep, bitter emotion seeping into the music and the violin helps with that so much. Yeah, it's... You know, I think the violin brings an element that doesn't show up so much in Architects that's like a bit more tragic. Yeah. And like really, really scarring kind of. It's so painful, so cathartic. Architects has a fair bit of tragedy too, but it's not so imminent. Yeah. So, yeah. That's really cool. And the guitars actually also remind me very much of this British metalcore band called Bleed From Within, which is a bit of an unfortunate name if you are to read it in the unfortunate way in which I have just read it. Hint, it involves sanitary towels. But that band has more of a like metal edge and gritty vibe, and they've got that very well on the guitars. Dude, yes, the riffs when that pretty nice lady went all angry girl. Yeah, the riff that hit when that happened. And so as a contrast to the riff, also the intro was really cool, that cinematic thing. I like the tease that they did, because when it started building, I thought it was going to build into a riff, but then it cut, and then the actual song started. I would expect maybe that's actually like a separate track that's an intro on the album? Perhaps. Is this from an album that's humming or came? Perhaps. We should look into it. Perhaps. We go? Yes. Can you tell my ghost that he doesn't belong here anymore? Find another host, 'cause this is my soul, my soul. This is my soul, my soul. I hear the devil speaking tongues. It's what I was around. Told me I stand. It's coming. To let me. I can't break free. This is my soul, my soul. This is my soul. Can you tell my ghost that he doesn't belong here anymore? Find another host, 'cause this is my soul, my soul. This is my soul, my soul. This is my soul, my Okay, it's hard to make anything of what all the things in the video were doing. I have thoughts about the video, but first the song. Yeah, let's go with the song first. It's so hard to pick up on everything, so... First part was, like, until we paused, was mainly architects-ish, though I would say heavier. Like, particularly that riff I mentioned, that was really, really chunky, and I loved the violin line. But on this second one, it changed it a lot, and I liked that break when it was building into where he cracked the glass. I loved particularly what the drums were doing there. And then, like, this final build-up, this final part, it was so... I don't know, Architect sounds epic, but it sounds epic in, like, a modern kind of touch. And this, it has the modern sound, but it sounded epic more like in the orchestral cinematic sense. Yeah. And it was so emotional, and, like, his clean vocals are so... They've got more power than the harsh at times. Yeah. He still has a lot of grit, and he has that aggression into it. But he also has that outpour of emotion that's just so cathartic. And it's like, it feels like a breakout song. It's like, if these guys wanted to sell Sorrow by the kilo, they'd be millionaires overnight. Yeah. It's honestly, it's just, and they're definitely dealing with some really cathartic stuff. Also, when you put it together with a video, even if you don't make sense of the story, just with the visuals that they choose to show you.
Yeah.
Like when that glass broke and then his face was all bleeding, and it kind of felt like, oh, that came out of him, you know?
Yeah.
So that was super intense. But like, I think it's like a parasitic thing.
Mm-hmm.
So like, someone comes and maybe like in Shaman by Orbit culture makes you dependent of them.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they're just kind of feeding on you in some way. Some entity or some person or whatever. I don't even know if it would be like a psychological thing or if it's something else. But like, that girl comes and like stares him in the eye. He's there, he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are all those other scenes where he's moving, where he's trapped in these environments. So I would say him physically is dead there, or like, I don't know, in a coma or whatever. And all the other scenes are in his mind. And this person comes and stares him in the eye, and she's got those vampire eyes, and then he gets the vampire eyes.
Yeah.
So that's where the parasite creeps into him.
Mm-hmm.
And then on that build, when there's something with doesn't belong here anymore or something like that. So like it doesn't want to be trapped. And then that break part hits and then it's all, this is my soul, my soul.
Mm-hmm.
And he's screaming that and he's trying to break out and at the end he wakes up.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's kind of reclaiming yourself after something puts this print on you. Yeah, and they're using the ghost motif very well for that because it's like trapped between worlds, you know?
Yeah.
So, and at the end, it's like you've got back your soul. I want to detail on another aspect. The medallion. You saw that in that scene at the beginning, he was like trying to reach out for that medallion that she had and it was coming towards him. Yeah. But like she ran away and he got pulled by whatever jungle stuff into the ground.
Yeah.
And then at the end, she like comes and puts it in his hand. So it's like, okay, conflict over here.
Yeah.
It's like coming to terms with someone and then that gives you some kind of closure.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of it, but the story really intrigued me, and we don't usually comment this much on video, more on the music. But like the music was very expressive, like in regards with the video, or with at least what my perception of the video is, because it had this cathartic kind of trying to break yourself free kind of vibe, especially towards the end. Yeah. So we're gonna go. We're done. If you enjoyed this reaction, we greatly appreciate the likes and shares. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe with bells on. Thank you very much for stopping by. We hope you enjoy your stay, and we'd love to see you back at the Windmill very soon. Corpse is out.